everyone, welcome back to my vlog. In this video, I would like to share with you one of my greatest tools for managing ongoing anxiety. It is quick and easy to do, it doesn't cost you anything, and you can literally do it anytime and any place. Now, I know this works, okay? Because since I taught myself to recognize this pattern as I was doing it, okay, while it was happening, and then applying the simple tools, I've been able to manage my anxiety a lot better and avoiding situations where I'd go into depression or even a full-blown physical illness. I used to hoard my anxiety for so long, and I wasn't even realizing that the reason for my anxiety was just the accumulation of stuff in my head. And when we're unable to recognize what is going on and we don't have the right tools to deal with it, we almost learn to live in a state of prolonged anxiety. Okay, so we're gonna get right to it. We're going to start making a list, okay, of anything and everything that comes to mind that we feel we have to do right now. And at this point, I want to ask of you to operate on zero judgment. So whether it's something really important that you know you got to do or something very minute and silly, doesn't matter. Just write it down. Okay, you can write things like finish my and hand in my uni project, or practice my song on the piano, or feed the kids, or sign up for pole dancing lessons. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if you're thinking it, write it down. Okay, now if you're currently making a list together with me, then make sure to pause the video and then just replay it again once you've finished your list. So let's say now we have our list ready. Exciting! I want you to flip the page and on a new piece of paper, make two columns, one that's titled have to and one that's titled want to. And now we're going to start copying the items from our first list into those two columns based on whether it's something you absolutely have to do, okay, like work and other commitments, and things that you really want to do. If you're doing all of this right now together with me, then make sure you pause the video. And then we're going to continue once you're done dividing into have to and want to. Now that we have our two columns ready, we're going to put a number next to each item on the list based on its importance or urgency. Okay, let's start with the have to column. So for example, if you have a project and we need to finish it by tomorrow, make sure you put the number 1 right next to that item. And then if there's, let's say, something you have to finish by the end of the week, put a number 2 right next to that. And then let's say you've got a third project and you've got to finish that by next week. So you're going to mark a 3 next to it, and so on and so forth till you finish that side. Once you're done, you're going to do the exact same thing for the want to column. Okay, starting with number 1 with something you feel really passionate about, you really want to get it done. And then put number 2 on something that's a bit less important, and then number 3 on the next one, and so on and so forth. Now, I totally realize that for some of you, all of this sounds like a big blur of verbal diarrhea, and it's stressful and daunting, and especially if you're not really the organized type, okay? Totally get it. Don't be alarmed. In a minute, I'm going to give you one more great tip to help you out with that, okay? But first, I wanted you to know that even by completing just stage 1, which is simply listing down whatever's on your mind, you will already guaranteed feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter, and like you can actually breathe easier, okay? So if you're daunted by this whole thing, just feel free to start with simply making a simple list on one page and putting down all your thoughts and everything that's in your head on a piece of paper. And then you can decide whether you want to continue or not. Okay, and now is the time. I'm going to leave you with one last tip, like I promised. It can work for all of you, but especially it's going to be helpful for people who kind of struggle with procrastination or if you feel a lack of motivation. When my best friend first suggested this tool to me, I got so defensive that she could barely get me to even consider it. I was like, oh, come on, it's not going to work. What's the point of making a list? It won't help. And like, even if I did want to do it, I wouldn't know where to start. So she said, don't worry about making the list. You just let me know anything that's on your mind. Okay, if you just start telling me whatever it is, I'm going to write it down and then I'm going to send you the list. And she eventually got me to try, and I just told her everything that was on my mind. I realized by the time I finished doing that and saying out loud everything that was in my head, I already started feeling better simply for not having to carry all this weight by myself inside my head with my own confusion. And then by the time we were finished prioritizing everything, I felt amazing. I suddenly felt like I had a plan. I suddenly felt like I was in control again. Like I had a clear goal of where I start and where I'm going to. So to ensure that you don't miss out on these wonderful benefits, ask your partner or your flatmate and make the list together with them. It may feel a bit odd sometimes because, first of all, admitting to someone that you can't do it by yourself, and then also having to detail the most stupidest, silliest things that run through your head one by one, it can feel a bit embarrassing or uncomfortable. But once you get on with it, you won't look back, okay? And eventually you will be able to do it yourself, which is super empowering. As soon as your head starts feeling a little clogged up and you start feeling tense, impatient, irritable, make sure you grab a notepad and a pen as soon as you realize that that's what's going on. Now, in the comments below, I want you to tell me whether you think you're going to try this tip next time you feel stressed. Do you? What do you think? Will you try it? Yes? No? Let me know. I'm really curious. And of course, as always, feel free to ask if you've got any questions, and don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more useful tips. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.